Good Wednesday morning. Yeah, it's Wednesday already. Wow. Hey, good Wednesday morning there, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Here we go with the puppies as we thin out the herd. Yes, the Iceman. The Iceman. I should make a documentary of the Ice Age TV. I think that'd be pretty cool, personally. Be out of work, but it'd be showing the true beginnings of the guy that went out and just went crazy buying cars and trucks and motorcycles. You'd see season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, and then in season 4 you'd see the whole chit show start to play out. I think it'd be a heck of a series if I could get creative enough to spend the hours and hours and hours to show the rise and fall of the Ice Age. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool, actually. That would be neat to see the history of me, of all my antics, all my craziness, that play to not play favor to me, to play not so much so nice, right? All right, let's get wife's gone and take care of some things, and then get the morning conversations going with all the puppies here that are dying to get out and see Daddy. And so here I go again, show everybody my code, but not totally. Well, here we go. Come on, pups. Come on in. Come on. Let's go. All right. Let's see here, pups. Let's get in here in the disaster zone. All right, puppies. Let's get the heck out of here. Come on. Let's go. Hey, Scout. Don't be like that. Don't be mean. Come on. Get out of the house here. Get the morning going. All you rowdy dogs. Let's go. Come on. Come on. 2, 4, 6. Somebody's missing. Come on. What do you got here? 2, 4. Guess we got them all, right? Yeah. Sometimes hard to take inventory here of what is here and what isn't, right? Kind of like the good old days with all the cars and trucks I used to have, right? Oh, my goodness gracious. We're going to head over to the shop. And for the most part, my plan's kind of working. Putting the food outside the barn and them eating outside, and then me kind of being adventurous and letting them run around after they eat, and me try to keep a handle on that, which that's not easy. I don't think we watched the videos yesterday, but I thought they were pretty amusing with me taking my four-wheeler and busting up the ice and then taking my Talon, and truly I couldn't hold the camera and navigate the Talon out of that pond, but I mean, I was stuck. I mean, it was so close. That'd have been a fiasco that I created for myself. And then if you watch the video, the dogs really being the water dogs, I never realized that German Shepherds were really the water dogs. Julia's like, of course they are. They got big web feet, and they really are the dogs that love to be in the water, which I like that. Because I'm a water guy. I'm a Pisces guy. It's February month where I'm going to turn 62 years old. Wow. Wow. Yikes. All right, let's get in the shop. Looks so much cleaner and nicer. And I was telling you yesterday that I don't think everybody watches every video I make, but I got all the rugs up because we were supposed to get rain, sleet, ice this morning, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, let's get the big dogs. Good boy. Let's get the big dogs upstairs so that we can start the morning conversations here. And I don't think I'm going to lock the barn down because the guys kind of seem to get it. Hey, Scout and Ginger, come on. And what's interesting is I'm just now letting the big dogs eat the other dogs' food because my wife's getting concerned that the older dogs aren't getting fed in the house because they're out. Come on, Ginger! Because they're out so much with me out in the barn. I mean, we're out here all the time. I mean, I'm not in that house. So you might believe it or not, I am not. In my life, if I had a camper and I had this shop, I'm good. I mean, do I need that big-ass house? I don't. We don't entertain. Hey, Ginger! So Ginger's going to be kind of the nuisance dog. So we'll just kind of leave it at that for the moment and get things moving because she's got business to do. But yeah, we're just not the big entertaining couple. We never have been. My wife has always been like that, though. My wife just never has, and that doesn't break my heart. My first wife I had, she was all about always having to go somewhere, go to a party, go to an event, hang out with friends, family. It drove me nuts. That's just not who I am. And that's one thing about me in my life that I've been very fortunate to be married to who I'm married because we're kind of on the same page for the most part on that. We're not on the same page on all the material things that I've gone out and bought way too much. But our lifestyle is very similar because my wife's such a working person and she just truly enjoys education and enjoys getting straight A's right now in college. Julia's really applying herself. I'm so proud of her because she really is applying her, and that's the thing. The last time she went to college, she just wasn't excited. She didn't like the professors. And come on, Ginger baby. So she's over there in the ditch. She just wasn't excited about the environment. But this time around, my wife did a great job of picking the right professors. I can't emphasize enough. Anybody's watched my channel, I talked about it before here, that has any kids that are going to be going off to college, you better really research on who and where your kid's going and what professor you end up getting for your child to learn, because some of these professors are just whack jobs. So here comes Ginger. Let's get her in. Come on, Ginger baby. I want to get her in because she's very dominant on this food side, and she'll be trying to maneuver getting the food. So let's do that. And I know, we're 4, 5, 6 minutes in this video, and I don't really have to do this. I really could just kind of not share with you guys the morning antics of getting dogs going. And it would cut the video by probably a good 6, 7 minutes. But here's the good news. You can always fast forward through the video if you don't want to watch all this and then get to the kind of the topic of the day. So here we go. This is a little bit challenging with all the dogs here. Getting all the bowls all ready for you guys, which that's going to be a whole other thing for me to do. And so let me do that. Alrighty, we got the puppies back on the feeding tour. Got my happy place, my camper. Never would have dreamed that I'd be living in a camper on my own property. So these guys are. So for the wife and I, it's just as a relationship that we're just not the socialite people. It's just that isn't who I am. Some people love that stuff. We're just the homebodies. We're just simple people. So here we are. And if you watch my channel, you're seeing on how the cars are being taken away. And some people get embarrassed by that stuff. And I don't, because it's just material things that you take obligations to. And unfortunately, you overextend yourself. That happens in life. I mean, we all do it. I mean, I think about all the men that I've run into in my life that had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. They've been divorced 2, 3 times. I mean, I think that story. Who doesn't know these stories? Talk about just, wow. I mean, I can't even imagine being a father with Julia and then me going out and cheating on my wife and then losing Julia in my life and then me getting another woman pregnant and having a few kids, then cheating on her and then having a few more kids, and then I don't live with them. I mean, this is huge stuff. I mean, and it's not to be critical of others, but I mean, for anybody who's gone through that, they know. I'm gonna put my phone down to get the water out of here for the dogs. But everybody knows that that's very challenging, extremely challenging. So in my eyes, that's a huge failure because you didn't pick the right spouse. You didn't, or who the hell knows? But in all sincerity, it really isn't a failure. But for you as a person that's extremely challenging. Hey, what's going on? Hey, why are you barking? What's going on, Limpy? We should have called Prince Limpy. Julia claims he's had that limp from day one, which is a very interesting thing about Princey. But so anyways, on the repo side, we're going to bring this conversation this morning. One of our subscribers reached out this morning, and I like it. I like how people interact with my channel, ask questions. And the question was, what else is going to go away? Well, for the moment, the next 2 things are going away are the F450 and the Bronco. And the people that came yesterday, really cool people, they're trying to be able to take the vehicles because it's all about money. They're making money. They're at the all-time. They're just loving life. They're just picking up cars all day long. And I mentioned this yesterday in my shorty video, any other videos, that this gentleman has been in business since like 1980s. He's been in the recovery business, the towing business, the repo business. This is record number repos. They have 1,100 accounts. So they have literally used car dealers, new car dealerships, GM, Ford, Toyota. They have relationships with all these companies that hold the numbers and banks. And banks, sure, Bank of America, Chase, the list goes on and on and on. So they have 1,100 accounts that enable them to get a phone call each and every day for people who have fallen behind in their car payments, and they have to go get them. And so it's huge. So, they're making money hand over fist right now. And it's interesting how yesterday he said, hey, the thing is, we're seeing so many people that are very well off to do that are just dumping their cars because they see that it's just not an equitable position for them to be spending all this money on these cars that just lose a ton of money. And the money they're borrowing to buy it. So their position is, you know what, just take it away, whatever. We'll settle up the deficiency, and who cares? Whip-de-doo-dah. And instead of making a big deal, somebody will say, hey, stay around here. Hey, Diesel, stay around here, pups. This is the challenge, once again, kind of doing this with these guys out and about. So that was a great conversation. And because so many people know when you failed in something, you don't want to disclose that. You just feel embarrassed. But yet our federal government doesn't seem to mind it. You know what I mean? It's beyond believable a lot of Musk is pulling off. But back to the cars. So I was telling the subscriber this morning, the F-450 and the Bronco are the next two to go. Now, then the dust should settle. I mean, for the most part, there really shouldn't be any more repos. And the reason I say that is because I'm in a better position on a lot of these other vehicles that I could just basically sell them to a degree. Not all of them, some of them. And then on the motorcycle side, I'm definitely going to sell some motorcycles. And that will definitely play out, this year. At what point, who knows? Bike week's coming up in Daytona. So I would think there would be people jumping all over, want to get their nice used Harley or Chief Bobber Indian to go to Bike Week and get a really good deal on motorcycles. So it'd be interesting to see if that plays out or doesn't. So this is interesting. What does he have? I mean, he looks like he has garbage, right? He has wood. I just can't tell what the hell he has. Oh, he has the old pool liner thing. It was an old pool. So for the most part, things hopefully quiet down, but it's a huge savings on insurance. No, hey, Gypsy, come here, baby. So, there you go. You got the, managing two things at once. The dogs. I think there's deer over there. No. Prince is really good. He really listens. Diesel and Rebel, much more challenging. This is funny. So this is good. I'm glad how they're more entertained on doing this here and sticking around than, we like this. Yeah, so this is good. Stay around here. So anyways, but another subscriber, he reached out yesterday, and he's like, yeah, the repos are through the roof. So it really is happening. But that was so interesting asking this gentleman about, are people in dire straits? He's like, they're not. But how does he know that? I just don't know. I can't really answer. But he says he's going to all to the very well-to-do people in this Washington, D.C. metro area. At the same time, are people now getting scared, beyond scared with Elon Musk and Donald Trump in office, that you're going to see people's jobs disappearing in this metro area? And I can honestly say, I could see that being a huge impact on people raising their hand, going, you know what, honey? It's time to get rid of, we got 4 cars, we only need 2 cars. Hey, honey, we got stuff we just don't need anymore because I don't know if I'm going to have a job. And the new job I have, I don't know if I'll make the money I make. I'm sure those conversations are going on, especially with Elon Musk and the D.O.G.E, the Department of Government Efficiency, Government Enforcement, in my world, is happening big time. And it's so interesting to see all that right here in my own backyard. And I really want to catch up with my buddies here as time progresses of the guys that run these car dealerships and motorcycle dealerships, and really say, are you seeing a different customer? Meaning, are you seeing a customer that really just has to get a car, or are you seeing the Iceman guy that just wants a new flavor and he takes the loss and just buries it to another car? Because that's huge. Realize it or not, what I do is huge in the automotive industry. It's massive. Where car dealerships sell cars to people that take trade-ins that have 10, 20 grand negative equity, and the banks will buy X amount of negative equity into the new vehicle. and that's loan to value. Most people in the car industry understand all that. And if you're a car person that buys a car every year and doesn't put down a lot of money, you understand all that language. And so, once again, it's going to be very interesting for me to go to the dealerships and talk to these guys. And they're going to be like, well, the customer we have now is more about buying a used car, and they're really having to get a car because their car is so old, versus it's just the local person like the Iceman that just has an addiction to buy something different all the damn time, and the banks just buy the stupid numbers. So I think that's going to be the conversation, that it isn't going to be the typical person that's just going out now and trading and swapping out for to have something different. And that's a challenge in life. Is I buy a car, I get bored with it, and then I just want to buy something different. I mean, it's just really stupid at the end of the day, but that's my fixation. But in the moment, it's the most part. Another subscriber said, what's your next purchase? I said, a bicycle. Yeah, that'd be the best thing in the world, right? Yeah, the next purchase? Yeah, it'll be a bicycle. Or a moped, right? Yeah, so really incredible. Something that's very interesting here about Elon Musk is he has a 130-day run on this D.O.G.E experience. And you see already a Chuck Schumacher and Adam Schiff. I think Adam Schiff's getting worried that didn't Pam Bondi get appointed as the attorney? Second, whatever. I mean, didn't she just get that title? I'm just not really following the news that abreast. So I think Adam Schiff's getting worried that they're going to start, looking into his nasty ass political. And that's the thing. Long-term politicians, they just seem to have the attitude that you can't do nothing to me. You can't do nothing to me, because I'll buy out the constituents to continue to vote me back in. I'll do whatever I have to do to get the support in my community to vote me back in to be a senator of the state, and blah blah blah. And I can do really whatever I want to do. You're just not going to do anything to me. That really, you see that type of mentality so much in politicians, and it seems more to me that it's the Democratic type of view. Not saying the Republicans haven't done the same thing, but it just seems like these Democrats, like Pelosi, Maxine Waters, like I just said, Adam Schiff, Schumer, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. You go through the list of these long-term Democratic senators, and they just seem to have this bullish position that you're not going to be able to get rid of me, and I'm going to do really whatever the hell I want to do. And the point of this conversation is the Democratic Party and Ranskin or Raskin, that guy's running his mouth, they're all demanding to get into the building of the USAID, the USAID building, to shut these guys down. And now they're calling out Elon Musk for disclosing people's personal information and blah, blah, blah. And they're already trying to draft a bill up to shut this down. So Elon Musk already knows how corrupt this government is. And he already knows that he just has a limited amount of time to get in and get out, because the Democrats, I can guarantee you, are going to finagle something to get a grab on Elon Musk and Donald Trump and just start to silence everything, because they're masters of deception. The Democratic Party and the political party of the GOP, the Grand Old Party, there's no doubt they're just as corrupt. So I'm not here to call out all the Democrats, because there's some good Democrats and there's some terrible Republicans. It goes both ways. But for what we're witnessing right now, we're witnessing that the government has been exposed like never before because of Elon Musk. If good old Kamala Harris would have gotten in office, do you think any of this would be going on? Would you still be in the dark on how corrupt the deep state is and how corrupt the USAID is being used to funnel money just to undermine our country and our government and the political parties to be? I mean, come on. It's just so being exposed. If Kamala Harris had been elected, you still would be in the dark of all that's going on with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, he has a 130-day run in this. Why do I say he has a 130-day run? Well, to work for the government, there's like a time frame of you having to disclose your finances, and I don't really know what that all plays out to be. But basically, for Elon Musk, the reason this guy is working 120 hours a week. Come on back. No, don't do that. The reason this guy is going full-blown, full-out, 24/7 on this, exposing the government, is because he knows that the Democratic Party is going to try to undermine him, And he has to apparently, after 130 days working for the government, he has to now start disclosing his financials and maybe other things. And maybe then that's where the Democrats then get a chance to get him out of his position and shut down his authority. And once again, I'm not the political expert. I'm not the guy that's written, the laws. But they're saying right now, on one hand, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are potentially, doing things illegally, what they're doing. It's debatable. It kind of goes back and forth of how you read the laws, the rules, because the government wrote its own rules to protect itself from being exposed. That's basically what it's done. The government, has really created its own shadow operation so that we have a very challenging time to get into the books of the government besides a government official. But it's obvious that the government officials, they're just as corrupt as the ones that are doing all the corruption, that they won't expose what's going on. But here's the thing. There's no doubt that at the end of the day, the Democrats will call out Elon Musk and Donald Trump and say that they're overhyping all this U.S. aid and that a majority of it really does go to the well-being of helping these international development of the world, because that's what it stands for, is U.S. aid for international development. And they'll be called out and start showing examples where, billions of dollars did go to some parts of the world, and it really did benefit the agendas to be. So that's, I guarantee that's the next stage. There's no way the Democratic Party is going to lay down and let this continue. They're going to do everything they can with all their might, but they're having a hell of a time doing it. And that's what's so classic. That's what I say. The reason Elon Musk is going all out at 100 miles an hour, the speed of light in his world, compared to the way the government operates. If you know what I mean by that, everybody knows when you get in government, between all the different levels of management and all the strings and purses and all the red tape and all this and that to get things done, it takes forever. It's a forever project. And so that's what I was saying from the beginning is, what really plays out. No, get off of that. You're going to fall through. Come on. Come up here. Don't do that. Don't start playing that game. So this is going to be interesting. Thanks to that ice pretty much got broken up last night. Oops, there we go. See there? Look. So now they're getting a taste of how you go into the water and you're all going to be soaking wet. So just stay off of that, Gypsy. Stay off of that. You guys always have to be intrigued by the pond, which is the water, because they're water dogs, which I never really thought German Shepherds per se were the water dogs. So yeah, so once again, to me, it's all about timing right now. And I think that Elon Musk is very abreast to who he's going up against. And he knows that they're going to do everything they can to get him out of the government, basically auditing the government. It's just beyond believable of what else is to come. What else, are we going to be starting to see of just how bad it is that our government is just taking our money and they decide to spend it any way they wish with no consequences, which is just so sad. Could you imagine if Donald Trump was on the other side of the equation and they started exposing Donald Trump for getting this money through this aid? Can you even imagine? Flip the coin to Donald Trump, Republican Party, in this U.S. aid. And I'm sure there are Republican people involved in this too, I guess. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not in depth to that. I'm not listening to all these talk show hosts all day long. I don't do it. I just don't try to get brainwashed, try to think outside the box, some others. And so you just have to say to yourself, if Donald Trump had any of his name attached to this U.S. aid of it being corrupt, oh my gosh, it would be immediate impeachment proceedings. And that's what they're trying to do. They're going to try to dig up anything. The Democratic Party, as we know, it's just becoming so blatant of why the Democratic Party did not want Donald Trump in office. Because his ultimate goal was to drain the swamp. And that's what he's trying to do. We think he is. We'll find out. Come on back here, puppies. Come on back here. Now, it's interesting. So now Trump's talking about buying up to Gaza. Have you heard this? So a lot of people think he's a whack job for saying that. Come on, pups, come on back. Hey, looky here. Looky here. Come on, you guys want some treaties? Treats. You guys want some treats? I got some treats for you. Come on, let's get some treats. Let's get you out of the way. Come on. Let's go get some treats. Get you guys some treaties. Come wants to get off the path of going further and further of me chasing you down. Man, I got this bad cough, man. It just doesn't end. As you get older, I guess you just hack and cough half the time. Remember, I was young, I used to hear my grandfather or my uncle or somebody just hack and cough in the morning. And hey guys, you're gonna make me trip right over you and spill all my coffee, and my hands are freezing. So on my new Samsung phone, I really like how the Samsung technology is incredible. I took my Samsung phone and it copied right to this phone, just like that. Within like 30 minutes, my old phone transferred all the data, all the settings, and bing, bam, done. Isn't it incredible where we live in this day and age of technology? Come here, pups. Come on. What are you doing now? Huh? Where is... Oh, there. That's funny. There's the Prince and Gypsy. And so once again, this is really going to be, to me, entertaining. But at the same time, you really have to say, does Elon Musk really eliminate all these jobs? Because they're saying Donald Trump and Elon Musk do not have the powers to get rid of people. It has to go through an act of Congress. But yet they're saying right now already, they're saying like, what did they say yesterday? Already like 2 million federal workers have already agreed for an early resignation. But here's what they're saying, is that's not real, because the country is only funded through March. Our fiscal country's monies that are designated for payrolls to the government employees and other agencies, it ends in March. So what they're saying is, for Elon Musk and Donald Trump to tell people they get a paycheck for severance through September of this year, 8 months severance pay, the senators are saying you can't do that because it's not in the annual monies that have been dedicated to allow that to even happen. So what they're presenting to these federal employees, it's not even really per se legal. So it's very confusing. But at the same time, in March, so here's the thing. When they go, you know as well as I do how this all plays out. In March, when they go for the fiscal spending, now Donald Trump is going to have to overcome the Democratic Party on getting that extra monies allocated to the federal employees to be paid with no longer actually working for the federal government. They get a buyout. And the same thing for like the IRS. They're just going through the list of agencies that they're trying to trim the budgets and gut out, the CIA, the FBI. So you just say to yourself, but if you read the way that the Impoundment Act was written, Donald Trump can't do this. It has to be through the authority of Congress. So once again, it's so, I've said it so many times. When I really see things play out, I'll believe it. Until that time, I think it's just... I don't know. I mean, can anybody really get a handle on this? That you really believe that this is all going to play out? And I think that some of it will, but I think a lot of it won't. Because it's just the infrastructure of how the government has written rules, and then you're going to get the judges that start to intervene. They're going to shut this crap down. It's just incredible what's going on. Entertaining. To me, this is very entertaining to watch what's going on with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And for Elon Musk, the guy's already the richest guy in the world. Why does this guy even want to be involved in this? And we all know why. Because he sees the painting on the wall of where this country's going from the deep state of the Democratic Party and from the former sitting administration. He sees the painting on the wall that the socialism, the craziness to come to be in his country was well on that path. And you've heard people talk about it for years. And you just have to look at yourself, what's going on right now in our own country. All these illegals are running around throwing their frickin' flags up for their own country. And it's like, well, go back to your own country. Why are you here? We know why you're here, because most of you were told you get a free ticket to come here and you would write off our country's monies and health care and everything else. And, at the same time, I think a lot of people deserve to have that. And for the record, we do have legal immigration. The sad part is it's archaic on how people become legal status. It would be nice if somebody would rewrite the laws and make it so it's a quicker thing that you do get in here legally, then you go through the due process. I mean, there's a lot to that. You don't really hear a lot about that. It's all focal point of the illegals. And how do we right the illegals to becoming legals? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that agree that there's great people who have come here that are good people with the intentions of being on the right side of the equation. All right, that's it. I got to get in, go to work, get the day going. So appreciate everybody watching my channel. Stay tuned for more adventures on the Ice Age TV. And what's next? I don't know. I'd love to go to a dealership and kind of have an interview with somebody of what's going on in the car industry, the motorcycle industry, off my iPhone. Would they do it? I doubt they would, but that would be entertaining. All right, Gypsy, come on back. So God bless. Have a great day.